Hello, hello. It is December 12th, 2022, and this is the first video that I am making on YouTube. And this marks the day one of my mobility journey. And what I'm going to share about in this video is pure honesty, raw, authentic emotion, and the courage to be vulnerable, to share with you my story, because my hope is to connect with you who, all those of you who are watching this video, who also feel as I do, who feel the pain, who feel the suffering, who feel the inability to live life how you want, to use your body how you want. And if I can inspire someone who's watching this to see where I am now, and then to see years down the road where I am in the future, you'll see that it's possible for you too to make the changes. And it's all about just putting one foot in front of the other, having the habit, having the positive mindset to move forward. So a bit of context for you, I'll share with you a bit of where I came from, where I am now, and where I hope to go. So this is my mobility journey. Starting with years ago, this whole story started with a decade ago, and without going into too much detail, a decade ago I got into an accident where I got an injury and I suffered a tear in my shoulder. But I didn't find out about this until only in 5 years after the event. So for those 5 years, I've been suffering with shoulder pain and going to physical therapy and going to massages, electrostimulation, and doing different exercises for the shoulder. And I still, for years, had shoulder pain. And after 5 years, you can imagine the structural alignment of other muscles compensating the weak and unstable shoulder, my right shoulder. It hurt. Then my hip and my other shoulder, and then my neck, and then the malalignment and the instability of one shoulder. The whole body works as a unit, so it created structural misalignment in other parts as well. Other muscle groups and other joints suffered as well. So that was, and then 2016, I visited a doctor who, the first time I got an MRI and discovered I had a labral tear. So I got surgery in 2016 and went through the rehab of not being able to lift putting it in a sling for some time, and not being able to lift my arm and not move my arm. Then afterwards, going through the rehab of trying to restore the strength and the flexibility and the range of motion, which is super. That was a story in itself of just not being able to even lift the arm or exercise, just putting the towel, putting it up on the wall. Anyone who's had shoulder surgery knows that process. But yes, continuing through that, after around 9 months, typically people who got this slap or tear surgery should be able to return to sports and continue with their physical activity they were doing before. And after 12 months, you should be able to be normal again. Of course, not normal, because post-surgery you're never 100%, but being able to get engaged in the activities as you were doing before. So example of a baseball pitcher would be able to start pitching, would be able to pitch and be able to throw baseballs again. So 9 months in, I went for a checkup, and I still had shoulder pain. And it turned out that the surgery was unsuccessful, that I had still a minor tear in my shoulder. That's why I was experiencing pain. And they gave me this steroid shots, and I did other things as well. And ultimately, the surgeon told me he didn't know how to help me, and he referred me to a colleague, and the colleague recommended that I do another surgery. Since this slap or tear, since fixing this tear didn't work, and I'm experiencing pain, let's cut this bicep tendon and replace it and put it somewhere else, so I don't experience the pain anymore. And although he explained that this is not an issue, this is not going to be any complications down the road. I mean, for me, you want to cut my bicep tendon and then move it somewhere else, and then expect the rest of my life to not have issues. This is hard to believe. So I didn't go down that route. And since then, I developed the belief it's because why it didn't heal correctly was possibly because due to my postural issues. After 5 years of just poor posture, the body probably wasn't able to heal in its right position. The rounded shoulders probably, the back was not able to, it wasn't in the right position and location for it to heal. That's just my theory. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert on the anatomy, but that's my theory. And since then I've been working on trying to improve my posture. I believe that improving my posture would also improve this pain that I feel. And it's been the case, it's been true. I've been doing posture exercises, or trying to, that's the case, trying to do posture exercises, and going to physical therapy as well to learn different exercises, educating myself online with videos, with blogs, with different exercises as well, to fix all the different postural issues that I have. The forward neck, the rounded shoulders, which you can't see because I'm facing you now, but I'm sitting, and as I'm talking like this, you can see that my head is forward and my shoulders are like this. And actually, it should be up, back, and down, and the neck more of my chin back. This would be better posture. But if I just relax, that's the natural position. So the forward neck, the shoulders, the rounded shoulders, the hips are the anterior pelvic tilt. They're rotated inwards, which in turn my knees are like an X. They're more in, and the weight on my ankles are, instead of the feet like this, it's like the ankles are like this. And then the toes, after being in the shoes, rather than it being like this, it's like this. So through the past few years, I've been trying to improve this, always setting New Year's resolutions to get to good posture. And that was my goal, to get to good posture, to be pain-free. Constantly had neck pain and shoulder pain and back pain, and it's been a painful, a suffering journey, actually quite a lonely journey as well, because nobody really knows that I'm going through this. I didn't share this. It's kind of something I deal with personally. And now I'm making this video to be open, to be transparent, to be vulnerable, the courage to be vulnerable, because I know some of you who are watching this have that pain, are suffering. And I believe that if you're able to just be vulnerable, if you're able to share, there are so many other people who have the same issue, and maybe we can go through this together. Maybe we can help each other. Maybe we can grow together, make progress together. And we're human beings, we're social. This is what we're meant to do, not just hide and keep things to ourselves and struggle alone. So this is one reason why I'm making this video, to be able to do it together. And giving a little bit more context about the journey that I'm on now is for the past few years, my New Year's resolution was to, for example, to do a posture workout twice a week. And then that could be like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just something consistently, but having the discipline and the effort and the consistency to do it. And that more or less was successful. Didn't get to it twice every week, but sometimes more, sometimes less. And then the next year, okay, it didn't really work out. Let's try to improve that. The next year I would do 3 times a week. And it's the discipline and the habit. It's, it's sometimes I was motivated and sometimes not. And it was not exactly easy. The next year, 4 times a week. And it was same story, month after month. Some months were more successful, some other months were not successful, meaning I was consistent in doing the exercises. And I have an app where I track the habits, where I can see, okay, when I did it, when I didn't do it. There would be spouts of, wow, week after week I would do 4 times exercises a week, and other weeks where I just completely skipped it, or it was less than 4. And this past year, I completely changed my New Year's resolution to see, because obviously 2, 3, 4 times a week wasn't bringing me the results. After 3 years, my body is still not where I want it to be. What can I do differently? So I decided to change it. Instead of increasing the intensity of 4 times a week or 5 times a week, and increasing the amount of time I do it, which is quite difficult and challenging, I decided to do 5 minutes. 5 minutes every day. Something so small, 5 minutes. And to be honest, I didn't make it. For 365 days, I didn't make it to do it every day. But maybe 300, maybe 200, it's most days I did do it. And it's, for me, a reminder that habits start small. Just break it down to something so easy. Maybe not 5 minutes, maybe a minute. Just start off small and it will compound. And just going further with this idea of just starting small, that's how I start my mobility journey now. There's no set amount of time that I'm dedicating to it. I'm watching a video on YouTube that's estimating 10, 15 minutes starting now. Potentially days where I feel better or more motivated, could be 30 minutes, even an hour. We'll see where it takes me. The point is that I put effort and that I show up on the mat, and that's what counts. When I show up on the mat, each time I make the decision, each time I cast a vote to be on the mat, that is what counts, and that is where it gives me the pride and the achievement is through being on the mat. And I just want to share a bit with you currently where I am now. My body is the first time where I'm 30 years old, and I am now majority pain-free. It's very emotional to talk about it because I've been dealing with pain for over 10 years, over a decade. And now I'm more or less pain-free depending on how much I move, depending how much movement I have in a day. So the first time I realized that I was pain-free was last year, 29 years old, where I was traveling with Melanie, my girlfriend at the time, in Greece. And we were walking, sightseeing and traveling and walking from morning till evening, looking around and going to see different buildings, different sites. And I have a pedometer on my watch where I can measure the amount of steps. And I realized that I was able to walk so much every day, and I didn't have any back pain, which is really surprising because previously we would go to the mall or we would go out, to a new city and walk around, and then I would frequently have to make stops. I would have to sit down because my lower back hurts from the hip, the anterior pelvic tilt, and all the pressure compressing my lower back, and I would have to sit and try to relieve that and then make a break to continue forward. And that's been years. It's for me the normal. And in Greece, I realized I was walking the entire day and I didn't have to sit down and make breaks. And it was, what? I don't have pain? And I looked at my watch, my pedometer, and I was getting 20,000 steps a day. And I realized, wow, is that the key difference? Is that really the difference? From my sedentary, inactive lifestyle, sitting at home and sitting in front of the computer and sitting at the desk, not moving, that is what's causing my pain. Not moving is what's painful. And walking 20,000 steps a day in Greece is what enabled my body to move, to be free from the inactive muscles, and to move, and the blood can flow, and the muscles are active, and the joints are active, and that's what led me to being pain-free. Could that be? And after Greece, going back to Switzerland and sitting down again back into my normal lifestyle, the pain immediately returned. Not that I experienced strikingly pain every day. It's just in certain movements or certain limitations and tightness and inflexibility, and that's when I would feel the pain, or certain range of motion where I reach with my neck or with my back, and it's just something that's always a topic of mind, always something I think about every day. And I realized, wow, that was the difference. That was the difference after Greece. To in Greece was that I achieved pain-free. The first time in a decade where I felt pain-free, and I felt a glimpse of a possible future that life is possible pain-free. That I don't have to live with pain. And it's possible. And it gave me a glimmer of hope that it's possible. And yeah, being back in Switzerland, I realized that was the key difference, because the pain immediately returned. So I made an effort to walk 10,000 steps a day. That's what it's recommended, 10,000 steps a day. And some days I would make it, some days not, but that was a struggle, coupled with my postural intentions, my postural workout intentions, and my goals. Okay, so fast forward to where I am now, 30 years old. I don't have much pain, depending on how much movement I have. What I do notice primarily is the tightness, primarily in my shoulders, my neck, and my back, from sitting. Of course, my hamstrings are super tight. My whole body. I focus on stretches, but of course, it's not where I want to be yet. I know there's much more progress to make. And the biggest thing for me now is, now that I know it's possible to be pain-free, to have a more fit body for my life, for my future, I'm inspired to want to do more. I'm inspired to start this mobility journey, this movement journey, because I'll be able to do more with my body. It will enable me to have the longevity that I want, to be fit and healthy, and for my joints and my muscles to function optimally. In order for me to be able to be healthy, for me to be able to contribute and to serve and to help the way that I want to. And if I don't feel well, if I don't have my health, then I'm not able to do anything else. None of my goals matter if I don't have my health. So this is priority number one, and this is something I must focus on to achieve the ambitions and what I want to do in life. Health is number one, it's required. And also, I love to be active. The past decade, my 20s, I haven't been active. I wasn't able to do anything that I wanted to do. I used to play tennis. I couldn't play tennis because of my shoulder pain. My younger brother was super into calisthenics, doing handstands and flags and flips and things like this. And I was always unable. I have shoulder pain. And even now, I don't want to do a handstand because I know that my posture is not aligned, and it would hurt my shoulders. It's putting too much strain on my tissues, and where it's not strong enough. And where I most notice it is in different activities that I do now. I'm excited that I can engage in sports now. So I go to MMA. I love jiu-jitsu, and I'll notice that I'm very scared to give more effort, to give more power, because I don't want to injure myself, and I don't want the other person that I'm rolling with, my partner, to go harder as well, because I'm very prone to injury. My muscles are not, my posture is not aligned. Certain muscles are too tight. Ow! I just pressed on my muscle. And certain muscles are too tight, certain muscles are too weak. So I need to strengthen certain muscles, I need to flex certain muscles, and that's what creates better posture. I know all of these things, and it's just about doing it. So other things where I notice it. So jiu-jitsu, I notice it. I notice in kite surfing, when I want to press more in my back leg. I want to press down more with my back leg. My hip is rotated inwards, and my knee is rotated inwards. So when I press down, it's so much weight on my hip and knee driving towards the center of my board rather than the back leg. So in order for me to press down on the back leg, I need to really flex more of my glutes and have an intention to keep my knee out, that it's pressing the weight on my above my ankle of my back leg to press down on that back leg. And that's just 2 steps. That's just an extra layer of difficulty and an obstacle for me to be able to press down on the back leg. It's just pressing down the back leg. I need to be able to. It's an obstacle in performance. It's an obstacle in the fitness, and that applies for everything. The kite surfing, the jiu-jitsu, for everything, for any movement. The posture is off. There was a party that I was in Egypt, and there was this Egyptian guy, and he was dancing, and I loved his moves, and I was trying to copy and learn what he was doing. And he would do some moves, and there was one move where he was bring his knees down. These are knees like this, and he was going in and then going lower and lower to the floor, where he put his knees on the floor. And I was in the flow, feeling it. I was copying and putting my knees to the floor as well. And then getting back up as well, for the legs, if these are the feet, standing back up. And then in the time it was fine, but the next day my knees hurt so bad, and possibly for people who don't have any physical issues, that for them it's might also hurt. Probably is not the healthiest thing to do, but especially for me, that my knees are already in, it was horrible for me to do. And things like this, where I notice limitations of my body, and I'm 30 years old, and I'm young, and I have a whole life of me ahead of me. And if I don't work on these things, it only gets worse. It doesn't get better. As I age, I have less and less range of motion, less and less flexibility, and it just begins with working on it daily. And this is to move, to be mobile. Our bodies are meant to move. And I'm discovering how much I love to be active and to love to do sports, and how much passion I have. And I want to be able to do these things fully, to my full capability, to the full fun, without having in the back of my mind the likeliness and the probability and the susceptibility to injury and the inability to perform how I want to perform. I want to be able to step on the back leg and go full gas how I want to step on it, without having to think, okay, I should flex my glute, I should have to push my knee out a little bit more and look at my leg that is pressing down. It's good to have that body awareness, have that consciousness, but to be able to do it, to trust my body, know my body, that it's functionally, that is functional and fit. So that is my story, the context, where I am now, where I want to go, is eventually, I don't set a goal now. It's just eventually down the road, I know I will achieve more pain-free. My posture now, as I'm sitting here, I'm talking with my neck and my shoulders forward, it will be more up, back, and down from all the exercises that I do. This will be more the natural position. And I don't have to focus as much daily of doing this, not the stress, but the intention and the flexing of being like this, because it will be naturally like this, and I can just chill from this position instead of chilling in this position. So changing my new natural, changing my new default to where I want it to be. In my daily life, in all of my movements, better postural alignment. In sports, it just applies everywhere. In sports and dance and any movement I do, it will be from a place of optimal functional alignment. And that's how our bodies are meant to be. That's how our bodies are meant to operate, to function. And I'm really looking forward to achieving this. Um, and I don't set it as a goal. I don't set it as a certain date. I just know that the actions I take today, that I start today, day one of my mobility journey, my movement will, my body will day after day get better and better. My muscles will get more tight. My muscles will get stronger in the movements that I want to do. My flexibility will increase, and I'll be more used to the movements that I see in these mobility workout videos. So along with the mobility journey, I'm adding in yoga, Pilates, other postural workout videos, and this will, day by day, video by video, each time I come on the mat, it will further me. It will enable me to make more progress towards my goal. But I don't want to call it a goal. That's the difference. That's the key thing that I'm changing here. It's not the goal of good posture and strong and optimal posture alignment. It's not about this. It's about the journey. It's about enjoying the process, about loving my body, about showing up on the mat and being grateful for this opportunity to move my body, to discover my range of motion, to discover where my flexibility is, and to just love myself gently, non-judgmentally. Just give myself time to relax that muscle, to flex, to explore different movements of my body, where actually it's quite new for me because the past decade I've been super inactive. So that's where I am now. That's where I was, that's where I am now, and that's where I want to go. And yeah, I'm sharing with you just where I am and just being open and being transparent. And I really hope to connect with some of you, with one of you, with any of you, especially those who have this, who understand what I mean with the pain, with the suffering, with the inability. And if I can inspire you to make a small change, to just show up on the mat for a minute or 5 minutes or whatever for you, which is the right for you. I can inspire you to do that and to get on, to start your journey wherever you may be. That would that would be a whole world of difference. That is the exact reason why I'm posting this video. And I really trust that someone, one of you who's watching this video, would really resonate with what I'm talking about and make a step in your journey, in your movement journey, in your mobility journey, whichever term you want to label it as. But in terms of you living life more on your terms, achieving the potential that your body is able to have. We know it intellectually, but to really feel it as well, emotionally, as well as physically in your body, and to know that life can be lived much more happily, much more joyful. And our bodies are amazing. Our bodies are amazing. It adapts. So just putting the right effort in and developing the right habits physically as well as mentally, and training yourself emotionally as well to be in the right position to achieve these things really, really will go a long way. And this, my friends, this is my journey. This is the start, day one of my mobility journey. And I am so excited for what's to come. I'm so excited for what's to come. I trust in myself. I trust in the process of how things work. And I believe that in the future, everything that I want will manifest. And I'm super excited in the future when I have my good posture, my better posture, when I realize that I'm doing a sport and I don't have to focus as much on my posture. And I see the differences that I make in my exercises. I'm able to touch the floor with my hands. That means my hamstrings are much more flexible. I'm able to reach certain milestones like that. It will really uplift me and motivate me and inspire me to go even more forward. And videos like this, day one, or going forward, day two, and I just see in 2022 where I was compared to the future where I will be. It will be so empowering. It will show that all the progress that I've made, how far I've come, and I will feel even more. I will feel pride in myself that I put in this work, and the achievement and the euphoria and the gratitude and the love, all of this together. I will feel supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And I can't wait to feel that. And each day I feel that because I know the different actions that I take are leading me to that point, and it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be spectacular. And thank you so much for watching this video, for being a part of this journey with me. Day one, let's get it. Go for it. Yes!